Hi, I'm Debbie Lewis. No, this is not Debbie Steers Demo, but actually it's Artful Legacy's Rubber Stamping and More. I'm on their design team, and this week I want to show you a little project I'm working on, and hopefully we will have some fun along the way. First thing I want to do, though, is something I've been dying to do, because you go through Artful Legacy's catalog and you see their beautiful images that range anywhere from vintage, which is my favorite, to the whimsical, and their beautiful scripture sayings and their one-word stamps, and it's incredible the variety that they have over there at artfullegacy.com. Let me just show you some of my favorites, just real fast. And I want to show you something special about them, but look here. This is vintage shaving for men. Can you imagine having vintage stamps that works with guys' pages? I can think of a couple of lines of paper right now this would just be awesome with. It's over at artfullegacy.com. I just have to tell you, because I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there, that this is almost impossible to find this kind of stuff. So I had to show you that one. My special large economy size ladies. Look at the detail on those stamps. They're unmounted rubber stamps, so you're able to get that detail I was just showing you. But here's the back of it, and I want to turn it to the side. It already has the built-in pad, so you don't have to have an extra pad that you have to hunt down every time you turn around. It's already built in here, and it sticks over and over again. This, oh, if you haven't seen this before, this is a Fiskar stamp press. I use it for my larger stamps, like this one. And I can take it off, slap it back on there. It gets a little gritty sometimes because I use it in a lot of embossing powders. I just wipe it off or run it under some water, and it sticks again. But that's the quality. One of the inks that they sell with Artful Legacy's rubber stamps is the Ranger's Archival ink. It is a fantastic ink. It is my basic ink for everything. But it's a thicker ink. It also is waterproof so that I can do anything. And it will work on your non-porous items. You just have to give it a little bit more time to dry, or use your heated gun or your embossing gun and heat it up to speed up the drying process. And just pat. That's the key. You don't want to, if you do this and just smooth it around, all you're doing is moving ink from one place to the other. And I want to build ink up on this. I'm not inking it all the way down because the thing I'm going to ink is not that big. Okay, I've got a fragment, a large fragment. It comes with the fragment squares if you buy those. It's from Advantis, I believe. And it's the Tim Holtz fragments. But I'm setting this on the edge of it. It's a clear, non-porous items. I'm just going to push this down. These are not buttons. Don't use them as buttons. They're just feet to help you position it. And it keeps this from sliding around. Now I'm going to put pressure, because this is a detailed stamp. I'm going to make sure that all of this gets the pressure that I want. I'm going to leave a little bit. I'm going to do everything. So I'm going to leave a little bit to make it look a bit distressed and aged. And that means not getting the whole stamp down there, so I want to make sure not to touch every inch of it. Alright, just lift it up. See, that's what's fun about the stamp press. You can just lift it straight up. I don't have to worry about it messing up. Now, again, I didn't want to cover the whole thing. Let me just do it this way. I wanted to give it a vintage look, so I've left a bit of it. I didn't push down on that particular area because I wanted it to have that faded vintage look for me. Now I'm going to do something that probably is, I don't know if it's been done, but we're going to try it. This is a Queen's Gold embossing powder by Ranger. I had put some in a thing experimenting earlier. And I'm just going to carefully, you can see it's coming out. If you can see underneath my paper, you can see it's coming out. I'm just, whoops, carefully covering my item. And then back on my paper so that I can very easily, so I'm going to do it down because I know I want to cover everything. And back this way. Catches everything. Now one thing that I keep around very close whenever I'm embossing is a little fine brush. And you can brush away any excess that sticks, especially when you're using a fragment or something like that. And you can either brush it away, like so, get it away from the rest of it, because you don't want to melt it onto it. Or you can push it into It's an awful lot to push into it, so I'm going to try to wipe some of it away. But you can push it into the project as well. You seeing that? Okay, I'm going to go around and clean that up. I've got it brushed away. You can see. I haven't embossed it yet. I've just got the edges brushed away, pushed in, and just use a fine, even finer than this, and go around and just take your time. So I'm just going to take and very carefully, very, very carefully emboss this. I'm going to keep some distance from it. I'm going to take my time. It's going to get hot. I don't want to put it down here because the heat comes back up and it will melt your acrylic. I'm going to keep it up so it can stay cool. It just will take longer for it to emboss. And you're wondering, why am I embossing this? Why can't I just stamp it with something else? Well, wait. Okay, I've been heating this up for a while, and it is. Let me put that down here so you can see it. And it's been cooking and turning and cooking and trying to curl up on me a wee bit, because fragments again will melt. And I've had to take a lot of patience with this. It's taken me a little while to do it, but I think you'll like the results of it very, very much. In order to make sure that this is going to stay flat on me, I'm just heating it up here a bit. Move my thing away. And I'm just going to lay a book flat on it for a second. And let it cool off. What you see. Oh, let me get my little piece. This is what you see from this side. Okay? But we're going to be making it dimensional, and you're going to see that black ink filled in with the gold, and that, I'm going to see if I can, oh, there we go. That's what I have some Prima rub-ons. In order to give this some dimension, I've got the stamp, you know, on one side, but I'm going to flip around. This is the part that I actually want to see, is right here with the black and the Queen's Gold coming through. And I'm just going to add a couple of rub-ons. They're from Prima. Ta-da! Look what we have so far. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? This next piece, all I did was take an image, found an image, and I put my fragment on it, cut it out with a pair of scissors, trimmed it up real well, and we're going to layer it on top of our plaque. We're going to work a little bit on the back too. Let's see. Ooh, I think we did better whenever we went. Okay, we're going to put a little saying on here about friendship. I have a wonderful friend who is very encouraging. I'm going to use my archival ink again. And I'm going to tell you why, show you why on this one, why it is so important to use an archival ink. I have my little saying cut out on my little saying. It says, "A friendship is a treasure that can never be lost." Beautiful saying. This is an Artful Legacy stamp. And two of my favorite colors from the new Tim Holtz inks is my Wild Honey, and it stays on my desk next to everything because everything has to be wild honeyed. It really does. And I'm just going to take this, start off the mat over here, and then just edge in, and I'm just going to cover this whole thing in a nice little circle. The edges will be darker than the middle, but I like that. I'm just going to take the edge right here. It'll forgive me, I promise. And I'm picking up some crushed olive. Ooh, can you imagine crushed olives on a nice thing? But I'm picking up some of the crushed olive, and I'm just going to add a little tint to it. It's not going to be as strong as, and not everywhere. Just tint it. You'll not find any parts on this smeared because it's waterproof. So we're going to take this, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put it on the back where the embossing is. So that means I am going to put some adhesive on the front here of this. And you don't want it thick at all. Isn't those colors beautiful all together? They have a beautiful script. We put in a lot of nice techniques in there and got a nice plaque, vintage plaque out of our Artful Legacy stamps here. God bless you and have a great day.